Hello and welcome to another episode of Momentum Mountain today. In this episode, talk about biological controls of whitefly. This is a story passed from one of my professors in Ridgetown, a landscaper and landscape designer based in Ridgetown, Ontario. He manages landscapes and mass produces poinsettias. For most of his career in producing poinsettias, he used typical insecticides as part of his management strategy for dealing with an insect pest called whitefly. Whitefly is a small tiny insect with piercing sucking mouthparts that drain the liquid from the plant. Basically imagine flying aphids. In time, resistant strains to the insecticide used appeared within Mr. Ross's greenhouse. He looked around for any solutions, and one of his employees recommended biological controls. He purchased a biological control called Encarsia formosa from BioBest. This is a species of parasite wasp who, in its adult form, will mate and give rise to hundreds of eggs. One egg gets laid in each and every whitefly comes across. The egg hatches within and begins consuming the host, eventually pupating within the mummified remains of the whitefly and popping out as a fully grown wasp, ready to mate and lay more eggs. This strategy brought the whitefly population within the greenhouse down to manageable levels, where no economic damage occurred. The moral of the story is that in certain circumstances, you do not require insecticides. Now on to the next section of this video, where we'll cover some plant ID. For our ID section, we'll cover two plants. First, we'll cover Impatiens walleriana. This species of Impatiens was grown extensively as a bedding plant for quite some time. It was one of the most popular annuals within Canada, specifically southwestern Ontario, for many decades. It came in many colors, but the most common ones were red and white. They're popular for their really big flowers. Over time, however, due to extensive planting of this annual, a new disease came around that adapted to this impatient species, a downy mildew. As such, they were unable to sell these as well anymore. And so, nurserymen turned to other sources of flowers that are similar in nature. And they found this species, Impatiens hawkeri, or the New Guinea impatiens. The leaves were darker than the common impatiens, and they have a nice little notch in here, but otherwise the aesthetic is quite similar. The species was marketed as shade impatiens, although it could not handle full shade. So it is a bit of a misnomer. What is interesting, however, is that it's resistant to downy mildew, making them well suited for a replacement for Impatiens walleriana. There's also been attempts to crossbreed these two together to breed resistant Impatiens walleriana. But commonly right now, Impatiens hawkeri remains a mainstay within southwestern Ontario. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching.